All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about dividing decimals. In the lessons that we've talked about as far as decimals go, we have discussed adding and subtracting and what else? Amaya. Multiplying, correct. So today we're going to finish up with decimals a little bit, and we're going to talk about dividing. Now, division of decimals is kind of an important idea. It's also one of the harder ones, okay? Which is why they that's why they don't focus on it first, right? We do addition, subtraction, a little easier, multiplication, and then division. And you're going to see several ways several setups for dividing, okay? So, here's what I want you to do. If you haven't already, please turn in your books to page 20. Let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be M7 1-4. Okay, lesson 1-4. We're going to talk about dividing decimals. Okay, decimals have, when you're working with a decimal problem, I heard Mr. Pennekamp kind of going through some of these things. You have different parts, okay? So let's just use the example over there. 4 divided by 1.2. Okay, what are the different parts? Yes?
There is a dividend.
Okay, dividend.
And then a divisor.
Okay, a dividend, a divisor, and a quotient. Well, let's start with this idea of quotient. What's a quotient? Yeah. The answer, yeah. So it's kind of it's over here, right? And so, boy, I am really terrible with anything that starts with Q as far as, answers. Quotient, end. There it is. Okay, quotient. All right, dividend and divisor. What do we think here? Yeah.
The dividend is the 4. Like
You sound very certain.
the bigger number.
The what?
Bigger.
But it doesn't really matter. You can have a bigger number here. We don't always want to refer to it as bigger numbers. Dividend and divisor. What do we think? Landon?
The divisor is the number being divided by.
Okay. The dividend is the first number. Is that what you meant? Okay. But instead of bigger number, it won't always be bigger, okay? The dividend, and then the divisor, what you are dividing by. The dividend, the divisor, and the quotient. Now, this terminology is it's not like Dalton's going to go around and be like, oh man, what a rad divisor that was. Or, man, this dividend, it rocks my socks, man. Even though he's really big into the socks, right? So what we're really trying to talk about today is I'm going to sometimes refer to a problem, I'm going to refer to the quotient. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Or if I'm going to refer to a dividend or a divisor, I want to make sure we're on the same page. This terminology, we're not going to probably use it in common speech. It's not like I go home and be like, man, I gotta figure out how many donuts to give all my students and how many. So I probably should do this problem. Let's see, what's my divisor going to be? I should probably make a divisor of 2 donuts per student. The number of students is going to be my dividend. So I'm going to try to figure out my quotient of donuts. Yeah. Okay, that's not what I do. I say I need 2 dozen donuts, and if there's some left over, I fill my belly. That's right. But when we're talking about and learning math, yeah, see, your head's furrowed, my head's furrowed. We don't talk like that. Don't get it, okay? So this is why we need to learn this terminology, because I'm going to use it because it's specific to what we're talking about in math. All right. Is this the way that I would set up a problem like this? No. I didn't learn division like this. I learned division like this, where I take my dividend, 4, and I divide into it 1.2. Okay? Now, the thing here, which we have to be careful about, is we have a decimal out front. That is a problem. That's the whole point of today's discussion. Okay? You cannot really work well with decimals out front. So what we do, let me just walk through this, is I'm going to move that decimal one place to the right. Okay? So now, I'm left with 12 divided into 4. Okay? Is that right, Finn? What do I gotta do, Finn?
What you do to one side, you do to the other.
Right, so in this particular case, if I move the decimal for the 12, I've got to move the decimal for the 4, which is hidden right here. So I'm going to move that decimal 1 over. Anytime I move a decimal and there's nothing there, I have to put a placeholder. What's the ideal placeholder, Bailey? A 0. So really, 1.2 divided into 4 is the same thing as 12 divided into 40. Okay? Really what we did is we just scaled everything up. The answer is going to be the same. All right? Now, how many times does 12 go into 40? Jackson.
4?
All right, let's do that. 4 times 12 is 48.
Never mind, 3.
Okay, 3. See, that was excellent. Process of elimination. All right, so am I going to put a 3 here? No, because oops, there goes part of my line. 12 does not go into 4, but it does go into 40, so we have to put that 3 above the 0. All right, 3 times 12, Amaya?
36.
That's fantastic, 36. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 40 minus 36. Conley? Say it louder, please. You got it. 4, yeah. Nice job. Okay, 4. Now, how many times does 4 go into 12? Or how many times does 12 go into 4? 0 times. Okay, so here's what we have. We have a, Jayla? Starts with a remain and ends with der.
Remainder.
Yeah, we have a remainder. Excellent. Okay? So we have an answer of 3, remainder 4. Now, I don't really like writing it like that. Sometimes we can write our remainder over our, what, dividend or divisor? Dividend or divisor? Let's think back to it. Yes?
Dividend?
That was a great guess. I'm going to tell you it's the other one. Yeah, divisor. Okay. 3 remainder 4 is the same thing as 3 and 4 twelfths. Okay, this is our divisor. Now, fantastic. Simplify the fraction. He already did it. 4 goes into 12, or 4 twelfths is the same thing as 1/3. So the best answer is 3 and 1/3. We would say that 1.2 goes into 4 3 and 1/3 times. That would be the best answer. Okay. That's not bad. Let's do another one. I feel like this is a little bit more difficult, but we want to get in the habit of moving that decimal, etc. This is your bread and butter. Got it. Bread and butter.
My bread and butter is vegan.
My bread and
All right, that was example number 1. Next. Okay, this is going to be example number 2. Okay, here we go. Somebody give me a problem, not from the homework. Jackson.
Never mind.
Okay. Jayla.
3.3.
Okay. Divided by someone different number. Amaya. 8.6. Got it. All right. It's not impossible.
That's pretty simple.
But it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because we're trying to divide a larger number into a smaller one. Okay, so believe it or not, it's easy mathematically. The answer is just a little bit more. No. No, there's no. What? No. This is why we're going to have to talk about negatives. Because that's just like the fundamental. Oh, numbers different sizes, negative. That is not the default answer. Exclude that from the record. Okay. Here we go. Let's 8.6 into 3.3. Okay, the problem here is even if we move the decimals, which we're going to do, okay, I'm going to move this decimal over 1, move this decimal over 1. Even if I did that, it's 86 into 33.
Oh, that's
Still don't work.
Okay?
It won't even work.
Oh, you added it.
Oh, no, it won't work. Oh.
So here's what we end up with. Hang on. It goes in 0 times. 0 times 86 is 0. We subtract 0 from 33, and we get 33, which means that we have 0 with a remainder of 33. I'm not kidding. That's how it works. Now, how else, based on our previous example, can we write this? Something over the divisor. What would that look like? Mr. Yoder, you want to give it a shot? I see that you're like, your hand is elevating and then going down, and then elevating and then going down. You want to give?
What about Jackson?
Jackson?
You mean for like the fraction?
Yeah, sure.
33 over 86?
So it'd be 33 over 86. Yeah. Can that be simplified?
Yeah.
No. Just saying what's there.
Yes, it
I'm not doing simplified. It could be by.
I like that case.
Actually, Braden's correct. It can't be. Well, it's not that it doesn't necessarily mean even and odd, but the only things that really go into 33 are 3 and 11.
Yeah.
3 and 11 do not go into 86. So therefore, this is the answer. 33 over 86. Yes?
Well, that was just
Yeah?
Bye-bye 0.
Or you could say 0 and 33 over 86. Or it's just 33 over 86. One more. Example number 3.
Sample 3.
Okay, 7.42, okay, divided by 1.3. Okay? Let's go ahead and set this up. 1.3, 7.42. I only need to move the decimal how many places? 1. Just so that I can get that 1 out there over. So I only really need to move this one place. So I'm going to end up with 13 divided by 74.2. First thing I always do in a problem like this is I'm going to move that decimal up to the top, like so. All right, does 13 go into 7? No, so I'm going to put a 0 there. 13 go into 74? It does. How many times?
So 26, and then you get 42, and then you get 55.
Okay, he's getting there.
And then you get 68. And that's it. And then
13 times 5 is 50, 65.
and then you get 65. And
5.
Then you get 58, and then times 100 times 0.
That's great, man. All right, 5, 65. Let's go ahead and subtract. 74 minus 65. What do we got?
Answer.
Yoder. 9. Okay, bring down the 2. 13 goes into 92. How many times? Yes?
7.
7 times. That's going to give me 91 is an answer. I'm left with 1 as a remainder. So 5 0.7 with a remainder of 1. That's complicated. Therefore, for today, we're going to leave it right there. Okay? Because you can't have a decimal and then a fractional remainder. We'd have to figure out how to make those two things right.
Yeah.
Say what?
What if that's on our
It's gonna go negative. It won't be.
You could keep going. You could add a 0 here, bring it down 10. 13 doesn't go into 10. Add a 0. Bring another 0 down. 13 goes into 100.
It's probably gonna go negative.
So then we would say, well, that's 7, and then we would do this, and we would get a 7, and then so on and so forth.
It's probably go
5.7007, and then we could go on and on and on and on and on.
Still a decimal.
You know, that can be a might go negative.
It is a number. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your homework. Let's go ahead and do this.
I don't know, that number might have been negative.
I think it's gonna be negative.
It was negative. The BC classroom, it was negative.
And it was taken.
Grace is having a special moment. It's like putting it out on me.
Back to school time.
So today's gonna have a worksheet.
Math 7.
Yeah, that's not
It's a picture.
You're right. Hang on 1 second. Let's get this homework up.
the weirdest picture ever, bro.
K plus cat. K plus cat.
Dividing decimals. Page 22, 1 through 6 all, 8 through 22 the evens. When you have written that down, you may go